street credit, cause the street said it. Get your whole team ready, thinking my niggas ain't real. Kid been holding it down, been blowing it still. So in your town, I'm so for real. I got street credit, cause the street said it. Get your whole team ready, thinking my nigga ain't real. Kid been holding it down, been blowing it still. So in your town, I'm so for real.
Alright, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the world who you are.
Alright, man, it's D with the Gumby, aka Gumby. Some call me Big Gumby, you know, Houston's finest. Houston's finest in the building. Shout out Street.Credit, we in here.
Now, first of all, I gotta ask you, where did you get the Gumby from? Where did that originate?
I had to take that from my boy Bobby, you know. Bobby Brown inspired me, that New Edition, that biopic. I saw it and I was like, but his personality had matched what I was doing in life with, I'm talking about partying with powder, you know what I'm saying? Drinking. That was a lonely time though, because I was living in Dallas at that time whenever that came out, you know, so. But that's where the Gumby came from. It kind of like represented like that wild side of me, even though I've always had it in me, you know. I've always had that wild side in me.
Well, tell us how long you've been doing your thing, man, and how did you get started?
Man, I got inspired in high school. I grew up with a guy named Youngin, and we went to church together. And he was rapping, and at that time I was just kind of like a part of his little entourage. He had a thing called Forever Young. And I was his biggest supporter. Now, I used to love my nigga, man, like for real. And I did my first song, 10th grade. And then it kind of just stuck with me, bro. Like, really, I was supporting him. You know what I mean? Like, and if I had to drop on certain events, like with Boston George and AMG at that time, I was like, man, we need to go pull up over here and do this, that, and the third. And he was always with it. Like, he was always with it. So then, performing and meeting new artists. Shit. When I really think about it over the years, like, but yeah, to answer the question though, like, it's been about like 9 years just off and on doing the music, getting with different groups of guys and doing my thing. But it was hard to take it serious because I always had a group of motherfuckers around me that just they weren't as serious as I was. So, for example, if I'm spending money on studio time, but they don't want to even pitch in on, you know, this, that, and the third, but they really go pitch in on bullshit, you know, so it was hard to stay consistent. But I've kind of always been lucky with being at the right place, right time kind of deal, in one way or another.
So what kind of music were you making back then? What was you on?
This is good. Like, see, and with my music, it was always easy to make the cliche, like, oh, shoot 'em up, go do this, that, and the third. Even though I could do that, but I had so many different associations. Like, I had the flavor of being associated with the hood, but then again, I also saw the other side of the spectrum with being around suburbans and suburban areas and stuff like that. So it kind of just was, I never just had a set sound of music though. Like, I always been able to do like a variety of different things because I've been to different places. I've heard different things. I've seen different things from here to over here, you know. So it's kind of like that. But I never really had a set sound. Like, if I hear a certain beat and if I like the R&B flow with it, I'm gonna go with that. And or if I hear the aggressive, you know, rapping kind of deal, then I'll go with that too. I'll go with either one, whatever I hear first though. But I've never had just like that set cookie cutter type of sound like how you hear nowadays. Like, that's why people were so sick of music, because they all making that cookie cutter ass shit. We tired of that, man. We tired of that.
So how did you fit into the scene at that time with what you was making?
I necessarily didn't, and I had so many different arsenals of sounds. I would just, depending on what type of crowd I'm getting ready to perform in front of or what showcase I'm going to. Like, if I look at the crowd and I see a certain demographic, I'm gonna pick the song that I think can relate to what's there in the building, you know. But then again, you know, on the other side of the spectrum, it's like everybody can't relate to the drill kind of stuff, or everybody can't relate. Because I kind of got personal with some of my older stuff that some people may not understand, but my main focus was just making sure it sounded good. Like as long as you're going like, yeah, like that's hard, like that hoe go hard. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're doing that to my music, I'm cool.
No, you've mentioned performing a couple of times. How long did it take you to feel confident enough to start performing?
Oh my God, I still get nervous a little bit. You know, depending on just how me and Cuz over here, we just came back from Atlanta like maybe some months ago. I got to perform in front of Daryl Jones. That's the vice president of Atlantic Records. You know, shout out my boy Boom. You know, authentic or nothing. It's the big AE, not the little one. But that's the biggest one as of late that I've had to do, and I was kind of sick that day, but still the song still gravitated around the room and still took the room by storm out of majority of the music that we were listening to before I even got up there, you know. But that was it. I still got a little nervous, but I still did my thing a little bit. You know, I didn't just bomb it or nothing like that, but I could have did a little bit better in my opinion. But he still enjoyed it, and as of now, it's just pretty much a songwriting kind of situation going on, and we're trying to just solidify everything with that. So it's kind of hard, still putting in a lot of work. But that's why even like maybe tomorrow I'll be recording. But with performing, man, I still can remember I had one single that went crazy in the neighborhood that I was in, and this was a suburban area because I was maybe 21, 22, and it's called Do You. And that was my first time hitting 20,000 views on SoundCloud.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So what changed after that? What did that motivate you to step it up, or was this just another day, so to speak? Or did you not even realize where you was at?
And see, at that time, that was a lot of views. And see, now we're in a time where 20K is okay, but motherfuckers want you to always be like on a certain level. You can't just be still grinding. But see, for me, I just want to be known as an artist in the game and be able to connect, you know, other things that make sense. If I could be a part of something good, that's what I'm into. But I definitely wouldn't mind being on the low-key tip. But when you see me, I definitely want you to be able to recognize, yo, that's Gumby right there. And so definitely making good impressions felt like when I meet other artists, whenever we do go down to Atlanta, working with other artists, you know, that's kind of unpopular now. It just depends on who you're dealing with. A lot of people don't really want to collaborate. People don't want to be real about how it ain't really no money in this shit. As my homeboy would say, it's getting serious about this money. Seriously though, man, but that's just what it is. And so either you stepping on somebody's toes on accident, or, you know, a lot of people just don't really see how good something is because they don't believe in it, because they can't see it right here. But I always see it here or here, you know, depending on what's going on. If I hear something, I definitely could pinpoint where somebody's going to be able to go. Maybe, I don't know how far, because there ain't no limit. You know, that's only up to God. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people won't work with you because they think you're going to outshine them on their own song, or you're going to, you know, take away from their little shine or whatever they call it. And shit, man, I still can remember opening up. Man, they used to play my song after Slim Thug performed, because I'm from Houston, Texas, you know. And just weaving and bobbing and weaving, you know, seeing the different faces who are big now, like Sauce Walker, TSF, period. Like I got to see them grow, elevate. Beat King has been around forever. I remember I used to dance with Beat King on stage. Right after I get done partying, sneak my tall ass right on the stage and get the dug in and helping other artists perform their songs and stuff. It's shit. I don't regret nothing.
What was your process for making music back then? And how has it changed? Or has it changed?
I mean, it has changed because, you know, I've gotten a little bit better with my singing tip. But, like, as far as making, like, writing music, like me and my best bud, he's actually, like, my producer. Cartier Dave, like IP Business, like he makes my beats now, but we grew up rapping and stuff, and then I kind of took the higher road to it, and to where we were doing music together all the time. Like we did our first tape like maybe 2020, I mean, not 2021, like maybe 2015. So that, you know, that's about 8 years ago. And that's back when they were so serious about copyrights and all that kind of stuff. Can't even put out free mixtapes. I'm like, I ain't even trying to sell the music. And here we are, you got Island Records emailing me, if you don't take regulators, this, that, and the third down, instrumental, we gonna sue your black ass. So shit. I was just like, oh man. But yeah, like that's kind of just been the process in. But now it's changing just because I'm more open to trying new sounds. And not saying I'm trying, like, because some of the stuff I hear sounds real spooky when they really promote it hard, and you be like, dog, that don't sound good. But like I told you in the beginning, if as long as you can hear my music, and I like that. Who was that? I like that song, like, you know.
So tell us how your style has changed. What kind of
Okay.
What kind of music are you making now that back then you would have thought, you would have been surprised that you have moved to this direction?
Mm-hmm. Most certainly, like starting with the beat selection. Because, you know, I was kind of, now that I think about it, I kind of was trying to stay on the cookie cutter lane with the beats, you know, so that way you weren't like far thrown off if you heard something a little different. But like now, I kind of make the song now. Instead of letting the beat, like some people say, oh, you need to ride the beat more, or they'll hear the song, I hear it differently. Sometimes I've even gotten that I rap like Blueface. And I'm like, what are you hearing that I hear different? You know, I'm like, I don't know what they're hearing. But sometimes I've gotten that a couple of times. But if the people like it, what can they really say? Does the opinion even overrule what the majority of other ears are hearing? You know, if they like it, it's just your opinion, though. And that's, you know, I'm all for opinions. I don't care. I don't mind the opinions, but yeah, most definitely the rap style, sometimes switching it up. At first I was doing a lot of harmonizing and stuff like that. And until I figured out my, like, I guess you could call it my little slang or my lingo with the, huh, yeah, you know, something like that. And then just kind of going with that, flooring it. Because I've been stuck with that hood, yeah, since I figured it out. I think 2018 was when I first started really just going hard on it. Because I got a single called Hood Yeah, and then I ended up getting my boy D-Raw on the remix. He's from Houston, too.
So how many projects have you done?
Shit.
Well, how do your projects work now? Are you a single creator, or are you working with full albums, EPs? How has that changed over time?
I see. And see, that dynamic changed. I used to be so focused on the mixtape thing, but now it's like you just got to keep coming with singles now. You know, put a little bit more effort into, like, for me, the cover art thing. You know, I used to really sit back and take my time, but then it's kind of like, man, the times are like, they speeding up so much, bro. Like, and people forget about you. That's why I say it's that impressionable thought that I gotta leave on people in order for them. That's why I like working with other people. But most definitely, now I'm just gonna be making singles and just dropping them. That way I seem more consistent instead of like taking 3 months to make a 7-song EP or mixtape. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely just gonna keep coming with the singles and try to like just keep them interested. Maybe going it that way.
So what kind of feedback from the fans have you gotten? What, you know, I remember you talking about early days,
Yeah.
first days that you felt like you was making some noise.
Hell yeah.
What about now? What kind of feedback do you get from your fans? Even some of the ones that listened to you back then, that seen how your style has changed. Talk about the fans.
It's a little different now because it was more so like local, tangible, like from back then, tangible. Oh, if there's a specific party going on, I'm there. I'm partying. You know, certain friends had certain connections, you know, and so that was definitely more of a tangible time. And now it's just a little different now because, you know, we'll invest some cash flow, and then I don't get to see I can't see them now. And then especially me being all the way up here, I definitely can't see them now. I'm out the way now. So I kind of like it that way too, shit.
You know, being from Houston is a market within itself.
Yeah.
So you never really have to go outside of that market. But Texas is a big area, as well as the United States. How have you changed your region of reach over time?
And see, over time, I just had to accept, man, everybody is not going to accept me because, like I say, it's hard to understand a person like myself because I can relate to over here with a lot of people that seems like rap gravitate towards like the hood and everything. But then I also got a demographic over here I can reach out to. I can be fitted in any room. And I ain't got to worry about impersonating, being imposter, none of that. Like, not glorifying any negative things in my life that I have done. Nor that I've gotten away with either. Because I'll tell you, shit, off camera we can talk about that shit, but I'm telling you, man, I can fit in the room. Sometimes I remind myself of just like being a chameleon and being able to just be put in the system. I could fit in any system. It is what it is. And you gotta kind of be that way, you know, because I wasn't the most knowledgeable person when it came to school and stuff like that. That's why I played ball. But it's also about that good old saying, it ain't about what you know, sometimes it's who you know. And my personality or my spirit and gravitated me to places that I can only imagine, bro. Just good timing. For real, yeah.
You know, in those 9 years, distribution has changed a lot. Whereas when you first came in, it was CDs were starting to fall off and streaming was starting to take over. What has changed about how you have distributed your music? And I guess, in what ways have you changed the business of making money off, or at least how you've looked at making money off your music?
And see, it's so messed up, man. I hope the right artist sees this shit because, man, it's done changed. At first, when they came out with that streaming shit, there was a lot of the nation that was still stuck on the CD shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was more valuable. And now, it's like the information is all out there, and that's the scary part about it. Like, you can't even hide it no more. It's just kind of like, if you know somebody, get with the right people because they'll get you right. But then even I noticed as of late, they even went down a little bit more on, you know, the payouts. So that's another reason why my whole insight on being a certain level of an artist, you know what I mean? You got guys who want to be on that Lil Baby status. You got guys who want to be on Jay-Z status, you know, but shit, there are some things I'm just not willing to do. One day, and I'm not even going to speak on that because I'm not there yet. I mean, I'm not saying I will run away from the opportunity, but definitely the invites to the special parties, you know, from certain individuals have definitely came knocking at the door already. And, you know, some things I would be open to doing, but not on daytime. I don't know you niggas like that. You know, now I don't know you people like that. I'm not trying to come kick it with you, live in LA. No. That's just not happening.
So what are you hoping to get out of this then? What's
really
kept you motivated to keep going over those 9 years?
I love doing music. Like, I love music. Like, I'm enjoying the game. Learning. You know, people got to understand. Shit, if we all understand spending money is the name of the game, right? I'm going to do it, you know, I'm going to play it my way to make sure it makes sense for me. But to establish a decent name and a credible name, that's what I'm on. Like, I want I want to be a credible person. For somebody to be able to come to, hey, oh, I know he works with such and such. He has a opening to him to where I don't have to hesitate. You can come talk to me, bro. Just lace me up on what you need, and we can work that out. You know, and just like learning from that side of the spectrum, when I was going up to people thinking they was gonna do something, and they kill you softly with that whole shit. Like, oh yeah, we gonna do this, we gonna do that, but then you never fucking fall up. You know, it's just. But even though they see you working, but it's still a competition at the end of the day. So that's why I'm saying, you know, if people can understand that I'm not trying to compete to be a step above you, then it'll be easier to understand I'm easy to work with. You know, once people get that, then we're good. And I'm tangible. I'm not afraid to like meet up in person. You know, I'm not saying it's not the most comfortable thing to a lot of people, but I don't mind partying with you, man. In public, like, I'm not coming to your house or nothing like that, but, you know what I'm saying? We can go party. We can go chill. We can go do things. Like, that was kind of the experience that kind of validated my thought process on that when we were going back and forth to Atlanta and meeting these other artists. Even some from upstate New York, the GTR guys, that's gang. That's gang. I fuck with GTR. And then a couple of other artists, like I just got done doing a song called Above Water with an artist named King Frog. He's from all the way from Minnesota. I've done a song with a guy from Washington. And these are all up and coming artists I'm talking about here. Dallas. There's a couple of up-and-coming artists I still want to work with that are like kind of my homeboys in the game or whatever. You know, we talk from time to time. Or we getting ready to do some business together, we'll talk then.
What do you think about the state of hip-hop right now?
Man, this shit's so ass. I mean, well, actually, I'm not going to say it's just ass, but I really think people are getting tired of seeing the same thing over and over again, hearing the same shit. Like, you know, people are tired of being shitted on in the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm noticing with me, I've never just been like, I've never called somebody else a broke, like flexing on the other person. If you're in a fucked up situation, I'm not gonna be that rapper to be, man, that's why they broke and all this. I don't give a damn if you broke. I don't give two fucks. As long as I'm okay and you straight, like, I'm not gonna boast and brag about having something and whatever, but I think people are tired of going to these shows. That's why they can't sell shit. Because for one, they're not tangible enough to me. You're not tangible enough to spend $200 on. I don't want to go see you with, well, I'm not saying me because I don't go see these motherfuckers no way. I'll go see my other up and coming artists. I will go see them before I pay to go see, and no shade being thrown at all either. I would, you know, Beyonce was just here. I wouldn't pay $340. I wouldn't pay $500 to go see Beyonce. That's just me. I wouldn't, because I don't know much about, and I grew up hearing Beyonce on the radio forever, but because she's from Houston as well. But these guys are just not tangible enough to sell shows, and when these people come to your show, they hoping you got all this jewelry on just to come try to, hoping you slip up and they get a chance to rob you or something. Because you rapping about all this stuff you got, and people are out here with nothing to believe in. They ain't got shit to believe. They don't have no hope. They don't got no hope in their own life to be like, damn, what do I believe in? They even question God, man. Like, they even question God, bro. Because they don't got no foundation of, that's why so much disrespect out here too. They ain't got no moral foundation. You don't know how to mind your damn business. And you worried about what the next person has. When if you just focus on yourself, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. I didn't realize that until I was drowning in Houston. My life started going on the decline. I done turned around a whole 360, and now I'm able to make some shit work, And I'm still trying. But believe in something. They ain't got no hope. I can't. You can tell they only do certain music just because somebody told them to do it or they got to do it. When at the end of the day, we in the entertainment business, it's all about money and selling records. But have you noticed the state of hip hop is all about the like the situations and just, you know, all that zesty stuff, all that stuff. Like, that's what it's about now. You ain't with the bullshit. You ain't getting put on for real. That's just my opinion. And, you know, me and my homeboys talk about that a little bit. But we don't double down on it because we don't judge. You know what I'm saying? We don't judge nobody. So it's okay to dislike something without condemning what another grown man or female is doing. You know? That's just the facts of it with it. That's just me, you know. But state of hip hop is definitely changing. I really don't understand what people like about it. That's why I think it's just forced upon. And who's making these radio hits though? You know, certain songs you're like, who's making these type of songs, the hits? Like, they're not that good. They're not that good. They're not that good, man. They're not that good. They saying the same lines every other song. I mean, it's clear they're blackballing certain artists because they're speaking their opinions, and so state of hip hop it's getting spooky. It's getting spooky out here. It's getting spooky.
So what you working on? What you got coming up?
Man, I'm digging deep into kind of I'm in it, damn, and I just had to realize this too, man. Like, I'm getting a little older. Shit, I'm trying to creep up. So my ears and my values of listening is a little bit different now. So, like, now I'm kind of on the, you know, I'll get down with it because I still do it. You know, I love that trap music, 808s. I love all that. But, you know, and I was just talking to Cartier about this shit. He was, you know, we're going to just kind of just do what we hear. You know what I'm saying? But as long as it's not the same thing that everybody else is doing, then I think that's a win-win because you can create something off of something people never heard before. It's more, I would wonder, is it more accepted? Is it more accepted when you hear something that you don't hear, you know, that often? Or is it harder to hear the jam because you ain't heard it already? Or like...
More accepted.
Yeah. So...
Is it harder to do something new, or is it harder to do something new that you like that's unaccepted, or to do something that's already been done and everybody's tired of? Which one you think is worse?
Shit, doing something that somebody's already tired of, because
what if you're doing something new and it's not commercially successful? It's a flop.
It's a flop to somebody, but it's also somebody out there likes it. And it just depends, and it kind of goes back to that marketing thing, you know, like, if you figure out the demographic that you're aiming for, or that will be more suitable to maybe what you're thinking or what you're hearing, and then what you're talking about. But I definitely think it's harder to do something, it's hard to do something new because you don't know. It's like the fear of the unknown. Like, it's the fear of the unknown of, is somebody gonna like, I've had rap buddies be like, hey, Gumby, do you like this shit, bro? Because they be looking nervous in the motherfucker, like, I don't know what the fuck. They don't even be knowing. Because they done signed the deal, owing motherfuckers money, big money, and they like, damn, like, I don't even know what people rocking with it for real. And it may not even be something new, but it sounds different from other people's stuff.
So you're here in Louisville now.
Yep.
What's different about doing music in the KY?
Oh man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna bash. I miss my boy from back home, man. FM, you the man, dog. I miss you. I miss you. Louisville, I ran into a couple of local artists. Now, I will say this, a lot of these guys I ran into in Louisville, they think they bigger than what they are. You know what I mean? Which is fine. You have your own alter ego, your own speculation on yourself. But like, y'all doing all this, but my main focus has been Spotify as of lately. So, a little bit of YouTube here and there, but mainly just conquering one platform at a time for me. And so, but with these guys, they think because they got they got the attire, they think somebody's supposed to rock with them. Like, nah, fuck all that, bro. No. 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 It just ain't, but shit, as long as somebody's fucking with you here in Louisville, but then again, it'll just be in through passing. So I don't really know much about the recording here, but from what I see, like, there's been a couple of hiccups with me recording here, like, that's why I say I miss my guys from back home. It just sometimes, some people might even say that they don't have the same, I won't say knowledge because they might know everything, but they don't, excuse me, it's kind of hard to blend them hearing how I'm recording. As far as like, and then if I was back home, it would be easier for them to catch on because we're kind of in the same vibe of things. Houston's a big city, it's a lot faster. Like I even work fast, bro. For the most part. If I'm kind of going in there freestyling shit, it's kind of harder. It take me a little bit longer. I'll punch in. But if I have myself ready and I go in there, I'll 2 songs in 1 hour, bro. And that's why I say they don't mix as they go here. They kind of, take their time a little bit instead of being, on that shit. But nothing harmful. Until it starts cutting into them pockets.
So for those who have never heard you, how would you describe your style?
How would I describe my style? A lot of people, I've been noticing I'll have some people would say I look like Young Dolph anyway, shout out him. I met him in Atlanta too. But it's maybe a Young Dolph vibe every now and again, more than not. Some harmonizations. The hook, yes. I just added the yet, ad lib kind of. Branching out to different sounds of music, doing like even different vibes of the music, like how we just worked on something with the hit different. And it could be used for the sports highlights, what I'm saying? I can't wait till Louisville football come around, Street.Credit, we gotta do that, bro. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do that.
My last question is what does street credit mean to you? What does it mean to have street credit? What does it mean to get street credit? How would you break that down?
I like street credit. I think certain situations, street credit, you could benefit from street credit. You can also have a downfall from street credit. I think it's worth having though because it could get you certain places that other people can't. Also having it means you also putting the target on your back too though, So it just depends on how everybody looks at it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with a little street credit, bro. I don't think there's nothing wrong. Now, don't be out here claiming stuff you ain't doing or you did not do. But other than that, I think there's nothing wrong with a little street credit. I think it helps build up everybody's piece of character. Brings street credibility, definitely brings out the animal in a lot of people, depending on what you had to do to get the street credit. You know what I mean?
All right. Anything else you want to add, man? Shouts out or whatnot?
Man. Shout out Houston, Texas. Shout out Acres Home, man. Shout out that whole Houston, man. Shout out that whole North. Shout out Louisville. We here in the Ville now, so I hope we can go ahead and get it cracking and what's macking. Thank you, Street Credit, for having me. I really appreciate it, my brother. Oh, Instagram @DAM Gumby. Twitter, D with the Gumby. YouTube @Damn Gumby, DAM Gumby. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got, man. I appreciate the interview.